here we are training for some strength in our upper body. We're going to do some bench pressing, what's known as a push-pull, and then we're going to finish up with, I'm going to show you guys a push-pull variation for hypertrophy training. So here I'm just doing a bench press. Now with the bench press, the main thing is just basically where your elbows are. That's probably the most important thing. If your elbows are too far in, too close to your body, or too far away from your body, flared out, that's when it's going to start to give you problems. You're not going to be benching as strong as you could be, and then you're going to end up hurting yourself also. So keeping them slightly bent in, like a little bit greater than a 45-degree angle, really is ideal. Now for strength training, you want to keep your reps low and your weight high. So for me, 2 plates here, it's like 225 pounds at the time. That's pretty heavy for me at the time. Right now I actually kind of just play around with that pretty easily. But I'm doing what's known as a double or a 2-rep max. And now I did 3 or 4 sets of that. So now that was my primary. Now that's done. Now I'm moving into this push-pull. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a superset, and what that is basically I'm going to take one exercise and then follow it directly with no rest by another exercise. And in this case, it's what's known as a push-pull. So I'm doing like a chest press movement followed by a rowing movement, and that's really good because it works the synergy of the muscles of your front, of your upper body, and then in your muscles of your back, or in the back of your body. And what that does is basically you're able to do a press movement, and you can follow it easily with like a pulling movement or a row movement. And it's a really great way to go ahead and effectively train and train smart and get in the work that you need to get done, so you can just get in there, do what you have to do, and get your results and get out. So same thing with the dumbbell press. Elbows not flared all the way out, but not all the way in. I bring the weights pretty close to my chest because I was actually training for a powerlifting meet. So you have to, in a powerlifting competition, you have to bring the weight down and have it basically touch where your sternum is. But if you want to bring the weight down and then stop about 3 inches above your sternum, that's going to be very good too. So the main thing is that you're having the weights come down to about chest level, and then boom, and then making sure your elbows lock all the way out. So now that's basically it for the primary strength training exercises. I did the bench press, and then I did a push-pull. Now I'm doing a push-pull again, but I'm using more hypertrophy concepts, like the weight has decreased and the reps have increased a little bit. And that way I'm actually going to be able to pump in more volume into my muscles. So with the hopes of gaining some size and some hypertrophy to them. See, with hypertrophy training as opposed to strength training, really hypertrophy training is all about training volume and just blasting away at the muscle and keeping your training volume as high as possible and just adding more and more volume. Where strength training is more just worrying about how much weight you actually can lift. So you're just increasing more and more weight as you progress yourself through a training program. So I try and do a lot of sets of this because, like I said before, hypertrophy training is mainly about training volume. So the more sets you do, the more volume you're going to do. So I think I do like 5 or 6 sets. Supersetting with the lat pull down. Now with the lat pull down and any type of machine like that, you always want to pull with your elbows and act like there's a wing attached from your elbow to your low back, and you want to act like you're pulling with that elbow and that wing, and you want to try and as you bring your elbows down, you want to try and pinch your shoulder blades together and pull everything back. You never really want to pull down with your hands, because then you're just going to be using your arms to do the movement, and there's not really going to be much contraction in your traps and stuff like that, and your lats. So there I am, just banging it out, getting sets in. Somehow, little lat pull down bar got switched. I don't know, someone must have been doing tricep stuff or something like that, and I was just too lazy to change it. But same concept, same thing. You know, when people talk about, oh, overhand grip, underhand grip, that really has very, very little difference on the exercise when you're doing something like a rowing or a pulling. Like it's all the same. Whether your wrist is supinated or pronated isn't going to affect the muscles of your upper back or your lats or something like that. It's impossible. Now, if your arm is internally rotated versus externally rotated, now that can affect it slightly, but overall it doesn't matter. Just pull, just do the pull correctly and you'll be good. So then I just finish up with some tricep stuff, some overhead dumbbell tricep extension. And see how I got that up from the floor? I just kind of squatted down, grabbed it, picked it up, brought it to my chest, and then pushed it up over my head and brought it back. And then I did the same thing in reverse to go ahead and bring that weight back down to the floor. I think I do like 3 sets of this, just to throw it in there. Alright, you guys, that is it. Be sure to check out MagnumFit.com for all the other videos and helpful information.